New Hope for young families that are stretched with time, and they're fighting the soccer moms, and they're fighting Saturdays and Sundays and trying to get a little bit of time to get in. How can we de-stress these young fathers and mothers that have, especially young ones? Is it a good place to be?
Hmm. I think New Hope gives a lot of opportunity for personal reflection, and I think fitting into your own life. I mean, the life of faith, you know, it is meant to be lived on a day-to-day basis. So it is a sense of as you're going. Even the Great Commission is written as a progressive kind of language. We often interpret it as "Go ye therefore and make disciples," but the language of the "go" is actually as you're going. So as you're going to soccer, as you're making dinner, as you're, and so we try to have like a summer of intentions, spiritual practices that are, involved in making dinner or driving a car or just being in your everyday life. Making mindfulness a part of what the journey is. We have retreats on teaching mindfulness, for example, just becoming aware of God's presence. We're currently in the middle of a series called the Summer of the Practice of Spiritual Intention, which focuses on a word. And it's something that you can do anywhere. You don't have to be a monk. You don't have to be a super church person, that you're in the building all the time, because we realize that the faith is something that's supposed to be with you as you're going wherever you go. And I think that focus is, I think, helpful for young families. I raised 3 kids myself, so I get how busy and how much a tyrant their schedules can be in your life. Gives you a life at the same time, is difficult to kind of keep your own pace up. So the spiritual life is something that needs to be integrated into everything that we do, and we try to do that in this place beyond Sunday mornings.
Okay. And it's a pretty fun place for service for young families. We've
Yep.
we've got some facilities for young mothers that have babies.
Yep.
And can you talk about the wiggle room a little bit?
Sure. So if you come on a Sunday morning, and you've got young kids, there's numbers of opportunities for you. If you have little babies, you can sit with them in our wiggle room, which is a room at the back of the sanctuary with a large glass window and with sound pumped in, but can be private, where you can kind of cuddle with the baby or whatever the baby needs to do. We also have a nursery for those who are a little bit older and you'd like somebody to love on your child and have them in the nursery. We have that right next to the sanctuary, ease of access for parents. For our little bit older kids, late preschool and elementary age students, we have an amplified program, which is kind of a Sunday school type of program during our worship time where the kids get a lesson designed especially for them, and then they come back into our worship. So they begin in worship and then come back into worship after their education time near the end of worship. And then, of course, older kids have all kinds of educational programs and youth groups and young adult opportunities. And so there's just plenty to do for young families with multiple ages of kids here at New Hope.
That sounds great.